Hello you guys, what is up? Welcome or welcome back. My name is Daniela. I'm so happy you're here. Happy almost March. It is about to be the start of a new month, so we already know it's gonna be a whole new TBR for the month of March. In February, I have been in such a huge reading slump. I finished a book like kind of in the middle of January and then haven't been able to finish anything else since then. I've been picking up books and reading, but I'm in such a big reading slump right now. So my February TBR didn't exactly go to plan, but I have high hopes for March. I think March is going to be a really fun reading month. The only new release that I'm aware of, I think, that I'm really excited for, really looking forward to, is the new Hunger Games book that is coming out in a few weeks, and we are gonna get Haymitch's story, so that's really fun. I'm really looking forward to that one. It does make me kind of want to do a whole Hunger Games reread. I don't think I've read the book since I was in high school. I remember rereading them a bunch of times way back, but I don't think I've picked them up again since high school. So I do think I want to do a Hunger Games reread. We shall see. Otherwise, we have got this beautiful cart full of books. We've got our wonderful, handy little TBR jar. You know the drill. Let's just get right into it. The first prompt. Oh, a carryover from last month. This is great because so far my reading from February has not been going so well. I know exactly what book I want to carry over from last month, and that is Crooked Kingdom. I read, what's the first book? Six of Crows. I read Six of Crows back in January, absolutely loved it, ate it up. I've been really meaning to come to the second book, but I want to give it my full attention, and I haven't been in the headspace. So hopefully in March I'll be able to read it again. I am really looking forward to it. I've heard nothing but good things about the whole series, but I'm so excited to see this next adventure that Kaz and all of his friends go on and how they're gonna solve all of their problems. I'm excited for the tension, I'm excited for the yearning. I feel like it's gonna be a really great read, and hopefully in March I'll be able to give it my full attention. So that is the first book for the first prompt, just a carryover book from last month. Okay, moving on pretty quick. Prompt number 2. Okay, this one fell out. Okay, this one fell out, so I guess I'll pick it. And it starts with the last letter of the previous book. Okay, so this book ends with M for Crooked Kingdom, so I'm looking for a book that starts with the letter M. Okay, I think I only have one book that fits this prompt, and that is The Masterpiece by Fiona Davis. This is definitely not one that I was leaning towards picking up anytime soon, so this is kind of interesting. Maybe it'll be something that I'll really enjoy that just hasn't really been on my radar. I picked this book up from a little free library several months ago and have just had it sitting on my shelf. But this one is a historical fiction about Grand Central Station, I believe. It has dual timelines. One is set in 1928 and one is set in 1974. So that seems pretty interesting. The back doesn't give a ton away about what's going on, but it's about two women and kind of how Grand Central has impacted their life. So that seems kind of interesting, and definitely not one that's really been on my radar, but I have heard really excellent things about the author Fiona Davis and that her books are really good. So I guess I'll be giving it a shot in March. We shall see. But that is The Masterpiece for book number 2. Okay, moving right along. Prompt number 3. Prompt number 3. Previously started but never finished. Okay, I have more of those books on here than I care to admit. I am the queen of starting a book, reading a few chapters, getting bored, moving on. Especially recently in my reading slump, I've started and not finished so many books. Okay, so I have previously started The Dutch House. I have previously started The Wishing Game, of course, The Alice Network, The Hobbit, The Siren of Sussex. Yeah, I think those are the main ones on here. Okay, so these are our choices. We have The Alice Network, The Wishing Game, The Hobbit, or The Siren of Sussex. I think I'm going to not choose The Alice Network because I already have a historical fiction here. I'm not really in the mood for The Hobbit this month, I don't think. I don't think it's gonna get done, but I do really want to continue it. I'm leaning in between The Wishing Game or The Siren of Sussex. I feel like either of these will be more lighthearted and fun for March because we already have like a thicker fantasy and a historical book. So I feel like it's time. I feel like this has been on multiple TBRs. I have started it. I haven't come back to it. I've been talking about it for months and months and months and months. I think it's time to get this book off of my TBR and onto my red shelf. So I think I'm gonna choose The Wishing Game for this prompt. This is about Lucy. Lucy is a teacher's aide and she really wants to adopt one of her students, Christopher, who is in the foster care system, but she's just not able to. And so at work, at school, Lucy always reads him stories from her favorite childhood author. And then this author decides he's going to write one last book, or he has written one last book, and he decides instead of publishing it as normal that he is going to give the final manuscript to one winner. So he's invited a group of people, his biggest fans that he knows of, to come to the island where he lives, and then he's gonna hold a series of games and competitions, and whoever wins gets to keep the manuscript and do with it whatever they would like. So Lucy is really hoping she gets to be the one who wins this manuscript because that means that she would have the money to finally adopt Christopher and they could become a family. The writing is really sweet. I know there's like a touch of magic and fun in there, and I think it's time, hopefully my attention span can handle it this month. I think it's gonna be one that I really remember fondly and really enjoy, and I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet. So March is the month. Book number 3 is The Wishing Game. Number 4. A library book. Okay, love that. That is very fun. So currently from the library, we have Assassin's Blade, we've got Long Bright River, A Curious Beginning, and A River Enchanted. All 4 of these books are on my 25 books that I want to read in 2025. So they're all kind of like higher priority TBR books for me. I don't really know which one I want to pick. So we've got 2 fantasy books, both pretty chunky. I feel like A River Enchanted, maybe off the bat, I'm gonna eliminate because I think it's like a very slow character driven book. And while I think I'll appreciate and love that, in my current mental book slumpy state, I don't think this is gonna hold my interest right now. And I wanna give it my full attention and full love because I think I'll really love it because I absolutely loved Divine Rivals. I was like obsessed with Rebecca Ross's other series. And so I really want to give this one my full attention, and I don't think I can do that right now. So I think I'm gonna put this one on hold, and then I just have to choose between these 3. I think A Curious Beginning might work for me because it's just like a fun mystery book, so that should be pretty plotty, keep the pages turning. Or The Assassin's Blade, because I believe it's novellas, like it's short stories. I have no idea, but I do really want to try getting into Throne of Glass this year because everyone loves it so much. I just am so curious about it. So it's between these 2. I don't know. I don't know if I want to start another series right now. Oh, both of these are series. Okay, so that doesn't really answer my question. Okay, I think I'm gonna try The Assassin's Blade. I'm gonna give it a shot. We're gonna see. Hopefully it'll hold my attention because it's like novellas. It says, I don't know. It is pretty chunky though. I'm a little nervous. I'm very nervous to dive into this world, but I'm also very intrigued. So I think for prompt number 4, I'm gonna choose Assassin's Blade. Okay. Okay. A fantasy book. Okay. So we have A River Enchanted for fantasy. Then we have Dance of Thieves. We have Aragon. We have The Hobbit. I think that's all I've got for fantasy. So we have 3 books to choose from. Okay. I think I'm gonna be brave this month. And I think I'm gonna go with Dance of Thieves. This has been a book that I've been kind of terrified of, that I've definitely been avoiding on my TBR because it feels like a really overwhelming book to get into, an overwhelming story. But so many of you guys love this book so much. So I definitely want to give it a shot. And I think because it's YA, it might be a little bit easier to get into, a little bit less intimidating. I don't know, it's definitely intimidating to me. But I feel like this is maybe gonna be similar vibes to Six of Crows. I could be wrong, I have no clue. But I think I'm gonna give Dance of Thieves a shot. This has been sitting on my TBR for literal years. Like, I have had it for so long. So I think this is the month that I'm gonna finally try and pick it up and see what we think. Okay, number 6. A book with a pink cover. Oh, how fun. Okay. Do I have any books with a pink cover? Oh, I see one. Okay, so we've got A River and A Woman in Salt. This is like peachy. It has pink. The Great Divide, like, this is really red, but it has some pink on it, so we could count it. The Great Alone is definitely a pinky cover. Maybe it's orange, but I think we can say that that's pink and get away with it. Oh, this book has a pink cover. The Whisper Network. Then we've got Dear Mr. Knightley. I think this is kind of pink. It's a little bit peachy. And then lastly, Anatomy. Is this pink? I feel like out of all of these, Anatomy looks the pinkest to me. I don't know, they're all varying shades of not really pink. Yeah, like this is definitely pink, and then if you compare this, see, it looks pink on camera, so that's what matters to me. Okay, I feel like this is maybe debatably pink. In real life, it's definitely more of like a sand color with the red. I really want to read this book, so I think I'm gonna pick it. I think I'm gonna pick Anatomy for this prompt. This book has been one that I've been eagerly anticipating for a really long time, and I feel like March is like the tail end of winter here. We're getting out of the season to read a book like this. This is like a gothic historical mystery book, and it is YA, but it is about, what are their names? Hazel and Jack. And Hazel wants to be a scientist, and she is pretty disadvantaged because she's a woman, and that's pretty frowned upon in her time. And Jack is a grave robber, and so I think they decide to team up and help each other out. And then I guess it goes from there. But I've been so curious about it. I've just been so intrigued, and it's been sitting here for a long time looking at me. I'm looking at it, and this feels like the time, so I'm gonna choose Anatomy. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books so far. We can choose like 1 or 2 more prompts. Oh, okay, on your 25 for 2025 list. Yay, okay. So I have any of these 3 books are on my 25 for 2025. I think Tom Lake is on there. The Unmaking of June Farrow is on there. The Nightingale, I believe, is on there, and I think Homecoming as well. So we have so many choices for this prompt. I'm gonna look at the books that I've already picked to see what kind of genre I want to choose, because I feel like we've already gone fairly heavy on fantasy. We have 1 historical and 1 magical realism book. Okay. I think I'm gonna choose a mystery book. I feel like it's still a bit too early in the year to read Tom Lake. I really want to read that in the springtime, and right now it's very much not spring here. The Unmaking of June Farrow is really highly anticipated, but I feel like it's gonna be a big one, and I've already got a lot of big books on here, so I don't know if I'm gonna have the capacity to read it as well as all of these other books. And same with Homecoming. Feels very chunky. The Nightingale is also going to be chunky, but I am a little bit drawn towards it. I don't know. I'm very torn between The Nightingale and A Curious Beginning. I know I'm going to love The Nightingale so much, and it's going to take me on this big journey, and it's going to be so emotional and heartbreaking and memorable, and I'm gonna love it. I just don't know if I'm ready for it yet. Curious Beginning, I think, is gonna be really fun. This is also the start of a series. I think I have several other starts of a series in here, so maybe I want to read just a standalone. No, I think I'm gonna go with A Curious Beginning, because I don't really have a mystery book, and I love a mystery book, and I feel like this is gonna be just plotty enough to keep me going, whereas a lot of these are going to be kind of chunkier books that might take me a while to get through. So this could be kind of like a fun, more palate cleanser-y book, I think. I hope. If you've read these, let me know. But I've heard really great things about this series. Okay, that is book number 7. Okay, let's do 1 more prompt just for the fun of it. Give me some more variety to read this month. Okay, the last prompt. Random color generator. Okay, I've been seeing Chelsea do this on her TBR, and it looks so fun. So basically, you look up random color generator, and whatever color it gives you, you have to match the cover. So let's refresh. Oh, it's like a reddish pinky color. Okay, so that's a little too red. That could be perfect. This Riley Sager book works really well. Okay, so it's either going to be The Only One Left by Riley Sager. That is a pretty good match. Or The Great Divide. I think that's like a perfect match. Okay, I got this book almost a year ago now, so I feel like I definitely need to read it. I think the color generator has chosen for us The Great Divide. That's like a pretty perfect match if you ask me. So this is the last book on the TBR this month. The Great Divide is a historical fiction book. It's about the building of the Panama Canal and about all of the people who were there to build it and help build it, and the people who kind of lived in Panama and surrounding areas that were impacted by it and how they were impacted by it. I heard really, really incredible things about it, and it's one that I've been looking forward to for a long time. I've had it on my shelf for a very long time. I think I'm gonna really love it, but I've been a little bit scared of it because it does seem like a very character-driven story that is maybe gonna be a bit slower. So maybe I'll take my time with it and I can pick it up here and there throughout the month while I read some of the other books. I'm glad the color generator chose this one because I think I'm gonna really like this book. Alrighty, those are all the books that are going on my March TBR. Thank you so much for watching. Let's go over them really quick. The first prompt we chose was a carryover from last month, and for that I chose Crooked Kingdom. Then we had a book that starts with the last letter of the previous book, which was M, and I chose The Masterpiece. Then we had a book that you previously started but never finished, so I chose The Wishing Game. Then the prompt was a library book, and I picked The Assassin's Blade. After that, we had a fantasy book, so I chose Dance of Thieves. I'm very intrigued. We're gonna see. Then it was a book with a pink cover, which I chose Anatomy. A book that was on my 25 for 2025. I'm choosing A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn. And lastly, we had the random color generator pick, and for that it chose The Great Divide. This is a pretty big TBR for March. This is a lot of ambitious books, so I'm gonna have a lot of work ahead of me. We are gonna see how March goes. Hopefully I can get a good amount of these read and get myself out of my book slump. But that is all from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you're planning to read in March. I would love to chat about it with ya. I love ya, and I will hopefully see you for the next one. Bye.